Yeah, Gunnerstown Pub Podcast. It's a bit of a unique one, this one, because it's just me. I'm Gav. I do all the She War stuff. No one's bottled out tonight of doing it. Everybody's just had other commitments with family and work and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, what a game. I don't really know where to start. And obviously, because it's just me, it would be nice to have some comments coming up and have a little bit of interaction with you all and all that malarkey. Well, let's go for it from the start, really. First goal, no idea what we was doing defending. Thought the keeper could have done better. Centre backs could have done better. And like I say, the first half hour was pretty much appalling, really. From there, I think we was pretty much shit for about the first 35 minutes or about the first 30 minutes. Don't know whether it's a change of formation or a change of whatever, but we got the goal. And to be fair, it was well played by Martinelli. He done well, done well twice, got a decent ball over. It was a good header by Lacazette. Brett, if you think this is going to be AFTV spin-off, mate, just turn your Facebook off now, son. I put Arsenal, not Luton, mate. Right, anyway. I thought Lacazette had a decent head on the ball, really. So 1-1. Then 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. I mean, the keeper, no idea. No idea why we bought him. He looks like he's won a prize from the junior gunners to play in goal for the evening. And that's being kind, really. The free kick that just slipped through his fingers was a joke as well. City's third, clearly offside. First half, Jesus, or however you pronounce his bloody name, sticking his fingers into somebody's face. On another day, that would have been, at that point, 2-1 and City playing most of the game with 10 men. But, again, I don't get it. VAR, if that was a league game, it was VAR, but because it was a League Cup game, there's no VAR. Not that I particularly like VAR, but you can see that what VAR would have picked up today would have changed. I wouldn't say it would have changed the result or changed the outcome, but it certainly wouldn't have been the hiding that we got, and it certainly would have been a bit of a different game if they had 10 men, and it certainly would have been a different game if it was 2-1. And so 2 keeping errors, defensive error, an offside goal, and that's our luck at the moment. I just feel that that's our luck. Brett, mate, if you just want to fucking slag me off, mate, piss off. It's my opinion, mate. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I ain't blaming anybody. I'm just telling you how it is. I'm telling you how the facts are. But yeah, it just is what it is, really. I don't think we was particularly brilliant. Well, we weren't particularly brilliant. 5 at the back certainly didn't work. We looked a lot better with 4 at the back. Cedric, for their third goal, even though it was offside, you can see, I mean, if you go back and watch it, you see Lacazette, he's pointing to him, go with the runner, and he didn't. So, no idea with regards to that. So, yeah, no idea what Cedric's doing as a right back, to be fair. He didn't offer anything all game. The only players that I've really got a good word to say about, Martinelli, But I mean, it was obvious from that challenge. There's no way in the world he was coming back on in the second half. At least he gave it a go. But I'd say the minute he went into a challenge, that was him. Yeah, Maitland Knowles did his job. Willock did his job. Pepe when he come on, no idea, no idea with Pepe anymore. He had one decent little move towards the end of the game, and apart from that, I can't think what he did for the other 40 minutes of the game. To be fair, I really don't have no idea what he does as a player and what he brings to us as a player. Uh, Lacazette was half decent in spells. Smith Rowe looked lively when he came on, but that was it. Like I say, Ceballos didn't look. Again, I'm losing patience with Ceballos. To be fair, but I'm losing patience with all of them, if I'm being completely honest. Uh, but anyway, give me some thoughts and we'll go from there. Like I say, I don't want to really drag this out too long because A, I'm on my own, and B, I want to start getting in a good mood to try and celebrate Christmas as opposed to talking about that. Bradley, DA, Fish Saunders, Pepe worth 72, not worth 72p, let alone 72 million. Nick Illingworth play the kids, and I'll be honest with you, Nick, I was a bit disappointed more with the kids didn't start the game, to be fair. I thought our passing, especially in the first half, was slow, sloppy. Our whole build-up play was slow and sloppy. And yeah, bear with me. Just seen we had 43% of the ball. Woohoo! Alright, I don't think we're going to get relegated, but I mean, this really should be the kick up the arse that the Cronkies need to invest in the squad. Oh God, I've just seen that free kick again, and oh no way. I feel sorry for him, but I don't. I mean, that was just absolutely appalling. Absolutely, absolutely appalling. I disagree with you there, Scott Houston. I don't know what Cedric brings to it at all. Really don't. I thought he was miles out of position for the third goal. That was his runner that he should have been with, and he was about 10 metres up the pitch. But I mean, apart from that, you could pull out literally everybody that played tonight and not have too much of a good word to say about it. Andy Guna, I just think there's at least three teams that are worse than us, and we're getting. We need a dodgy win. We need a win where we win 1-0 and the ball goes in off somebody's backside and to kickstart us. And we've just on this unbelievable run of playing badly and at the same time getting bad decisions against us and fluky goals against us and stupid red cards against us, and that just don't help matters. And I mean, everybody. Like, let's be honest. Like I say, I don't know how many of you are reading the chat at the moment. Nobody thought we was going to win tonight. I mean, we played a complete second string team against the Man City team, which probably cost more to assemble than the whole of our squad. I mean, like I say, I was gonna. Well, someone will work it out, I'm sure. But the Man City team that started was worth a hell of a lot more than our first team that normally starts. But that's by and by. I didn't think no matter what team we put out tonight, we would have won. So I would have played a lot more of the younger kids started a lot more of them. Started Balogun, started Smith Rowe, started Maitland-Niles in the middle of the pitch. It just don't seem worth it to persist with players that are not good enough to play for Arsenal. So, and players that are possibly not going to be with us in a year's time. I mean, it's very, very doubtful, and I'm obviously hoping this, that Mustafi won't be with us next season. So what's the point in playing him? I don't get it. And it'd be nice to get in a position where we get to some sort of mid-table stability, and Arteta can just simply concentrate on the players that are going to be with us next season, because we've just got too many. We've just got too much rubbish, and we're playing the rubbish too much, and that's down to Arteta. And I don't think he should go. And if he goes, the new manager's only got exactly the same squad, more or less. Look, got Emery sacked, and then got Arteta sacked, and then we've got to pay Arteta and all his staff off, and then you've got a new manager coming in. Is he going to get the funds? And I'd like to see if anyone's getting the funds to strengthen the squad. It should be Arteta. I mean, he proved in a short space of time that by winning the FA Cup, that you can do it. But I just think that there's too many players that aren't good enough. And you've got that core of players who aren't playing, who are at the training ground, who it can't be good. It can't be good to have, the Ozil, etc., at the training ground every day amongst the other players. It must be bringing the players down. So, I mean, I'd really be at the point now where if the players that he doesn't want, that Arteta doesn't want in the squad in January. Oh, hold on. No, I was wrong. It was Fernandinho who smacked Ceballos in the face twice. That was missed by VAR. Well, missed by the ref because there was no VAR tonight, obviously. But like I say, if one of our players done that, odds on it was going to be a straight red. Anyways, yeah, no, I just don't get it. I don't get why there's players around the squad and players around the training grounds that aren't playing. And the players that are going to be leaving the end of the season, if they're not going to play, just keep them away from the first team squad. Just keep them miles and miles away from the first team squad. Put them on garden leave. Pay their contracts up. Let them sit at home. Let them play Fortnite or whatever they do. But having them around can't be good. I just don't see any. It's only negatives. There's no benefits from that whatsoever. Anyway, I think I've covered most things. Let's go through some of the comments. A few people talking about Allegri coming in. I don't think it's not going to happen. Steve Cooper written off that game off, but before after. Ben Tyler needs time to build a squad that he wants. Can't build a squad without money. If he was to go, who's going to come in? Only Allegri is out there without a team. We need to give a bloke a chance in another transfer window with some money and opportunity to get rid of the deadwood, which I agree there. The biggest shame of it all, He's got 5, 6 years ago. Wenger should have gone and Klopp should have come in. Klopp would have loved to have come to the Arsenal at the time. Who knows whether it would have worked out how it's worked out for him at Liverpool, but like I say, going back 5, 6 years, but unfortunately Wenger stayed on and on and on. That would have been a time to have brought Klopp in to do so. But yeah, I guess my like a few of you, the biggest worry we got is if anything happens to Leno, we are in quite bad trouble with that kid being our well, I'm calling him a kid. Apparently he's 25. He looks about 12, but and plays like it as well. In fact, well, a lot of 12-year-olds probably play a lot bit better than that anyway. But we do need a keeper in this transfer window. They do need to find an experienced old head. Go out there and get a free transfer on a 34 or 35-year-old keeper. And because if anything happens to Leno at the moment, we are in serious bad trouble. Like I say, that keeper's cost us 1 or 2 goals tonight. But anyway, 70% Andrew Brown, 70% of the squad need to go. Time for Neil Warnock, Daniel Parker, Lukey Holland. Ooh, I'm not sure I'd want them. Jack Butland, good shout. But like I say, we just need a keeper that's not going to cost us any money. Because we all know we need the money on an attacking midfielder type player. And see if Adu can pull any magic stunts off this January. And we're in the same boat as we was at the end of the summer transfer window. We knew then we needed an attacking midfielder, and we knew then we've got 3 or 4 players in the squad that are not wanted. So they've had all of that time since then to sort that out, and haven't bothered. I'm Dean. I'm probably a minute or 2 behind you. I've got Pep doing his interview at the moment, but I won't turn it on. I don't really want to listen to what Arteta has to say. I really don't. Anyways, unless anybody's got any other comments, I think I've exhausted myself with as much as I want to speak about that game in total, but I made a promise at the beginning of the season that we would do one of these whilst we're in lockdown. The others have been quite good, to be fair. There's normally 2 or 3 of us on, sometimes 4 of us on. And we have a chat, talk a bit of serious and have a bit of a laugh, which predominantly would what you'd do after the game, either back at the pub or on the way home or whatever. So he's trying to put some sort of normality into it, and obviously we've paid for StreamYard. I'm not paying for something and not bloody using it. How does that sound, eh? Dane, here's a question. Those that are still on, how about you answer this? I'll bring Ozil back into the fold in January. I'd love to hear everybody else's opinions and read everybody else's opinions on that, but my opinion is play Smith Rowe. That's my opinion. I didn't really understand why Smith Rowe wasn't starting tonight. You saw what he gave us when he came on, which was a lot more than any other of our midfielders did all game. And like I say, the conundrum again as well is Martinelli playing very, very well down the left. Arteta liking to play Abba down the middle. Where does that put Saka? Does Saka then start playing down the right, or does Saka play behind the front three? An interesting conundrum. But I think Arteta missed a trick tonight. He had the opportunity. I think we more or less had a quite into nothing tonight. We could have played our best 11, played the game of our lives, and probably still lost. Uh, so he should have used it to experiment, and that would have been for me starting with Smith Rowe. In fact, I probably would have had a midfield of Maitland-Niles, Willock, and Smith Rowe. Just play them. Just play them. Exactly. Like Dominic saying in the chat. Play Smith Rowe, that pass the Lacquer. Why does no one else do that? Excuse me. But yeah, and there was even like I think it was right at the end when Pepe had his one decent moment at the half. And why is he not getting in the positions to get ball like that all game? And I'm fed up with Pepe getting ball behind him or ball, when he's facing our goal. He's not going anywhere with that. He's really not. He needs more balls over the top. He needs to run in. He needs to find space. And it was only once we had 3 or 4 of the young kids on the pitch that it started to look like we was making space and making runs. And that's what we need at the moment. And yeah, my solution at the moment is Smith Rowe. It really is. I don't know why he didn't get a chance for the full 90 minutes tonight. I really, really don't. Daryl Kane, I'll read this. Shit, and more shit. We ain't in the big top 6 no more, people. Wake up and realise our football is shocking. We have a greedy yank prick who's more interested in funding a shit NFL team and nothing into Arsenal. He's just a parasite. Well, I can't say anything against that really, because I've been saying similar myself for the best part of 10 years. It was, we got the wrong horse. That's what happened. David Dean got two billionaires in, and unfortunately the wrong ones won. And you can't tell me that whether it's Stan or Josh that is in charge of the club, and even with all this modern technology with Zoom and team meetings and all that malarkey, you can't tell me you can run a business and a sporting club the size of Arsenal when you're not there. It's all right, Daryl, I'll say worse. So, I mean, you don't want, and I don't think anybody wants an owner that is particularly vocal and getting too involved. But we've actually got the reverse. We've got an owner who isn't involved at all. And we'll see what happens in the future with regards to how much money's been put into the club, whether it's been put into his back pocket or whether or not the club, well, basically us, have to pay him back, and whether or not we have to pay him back with interest. So that's another interesting one. But like I say, I've got no time whatsoever for the Cronkies. I just don't see how it works. I don't see how it can ever work. I mean, it's not like we have a bad game or a bad run of results and he turns up at the training ground and puts his face around the place. He can't do that. It's ridiculous. He's going to make a Zoom call, make a team call or whatever. And no matter who we have as manager, that ultimately is the biggest problem that's preventing Arsenal Football Club from doing well. Like I say, we've got nowhere near winning the league title since Kroenke's been involved in the club as one of the as the leading shareholder and as owner, and we're only getting worse. Webster, Webster Red and White Parker. Liverpool are run by Americans. It's working for them. Unfortunately, Wenger's legacy lives on. That's the thing. It's whether or not the Cronkies are running us because it's just another part of their sporting enterprise and their sporting portfolio, or are they running us because they want success? Do you know what I mean? That's the big one, and you're not going to get any support. No, you're never going to find me saying a decent word about the Cronkies or Ivor Gazidis, who screwed us up for a while. Daz Williams. If we were to go in the transfer window in January, what position are you going for? I think we need a hold-up man, someone good in the air, similar to Giroud. Well, Lacazette does a good job at holding it up, but then he don't get in the box as much. And we're firing over 30-odd crosses a game, but too many of them are too high. And we haven't got a big man in there in the area to whack it down. But by the way that Arteta wants to play, I couldn't see Giroud play or a taller, slower player playing in that position and being able to, run about as much as anybody else. It's very, very weird. Right, I'm going to turn this off in exactly 3 minutes because everybody's getting bored with listening to my voice anyway. Mike Bullock, I honestly see us getting anything at Brighton or West Brom. We don't, even when we're playing well, we don't tend to do well at Brighton. So when we're playing badly, that's an issue as well. Like I said, I don't think it's all doom and gloom. We've got Chelsea on Boxing Day. Hopefully we can pull a little bit of magic off, really. We beat them in the cup final when we shouldn't have done, really, but we did. We just need another result like that to get us up and running, really. It's almost like we just sort of stumbled to a stop, and we've had a lot of bad Novembers. Dodgy November, we used to call it, when we always seem to fall apart in November every single season. But now it's just a case of we've unfortunately led it on to December. I mean, what Dwayne's saying now, January players will come in. Just hope it isn't too late. See, that's the problem. It depends on how much money Arteta's got to spend, and it depends on how much money the club will give him to spend. Because there's two ways of going about it now. We don't want to be spending big money on players in January and big wages with long-term contracts and them to flop, because then that screws us in the summer. And if the right player can't be bought at that stage, it may be a case in January they might have to do a few intelligent loan deals, both with players leaving us and with players joining us. But who knows? Like I say, they must have a plan, because this has been obvious. The people that we're missing, and the one key player that we're missing, and the one key position we're missing, we've all known about it since the end of the summer transfer window. So they must have a plan to get a player in. And if they haven't got a plan to get a player in, why aren't they playing Smith Rowe in players like tonight? Why aren't they playing him from the start? I just don't understand it. Anyways, thank you everybody for joining us, or joining me rather. Not sure what's going to happen Boxing Day. Worst case scenario, I'll come on and talk for 10 minutes. But yeah, thanks for joining me, and up the Arsenal.